Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm with Trell, and we're bringing you a deck profile finally. So, there's a deck that actually won locals.
Yeah, pretty much.
What deck is this?
This is actually Infernoids. And before we start, I gotta tell you now, I built the deck at the shop, so it's gonna seem a bit janky, but it actually worked out. Got me into the top. Actually went undefeated. I went undefeated in Swiss. I didn't lose a single round, a single game in Swiss, and then I got to the finals, and we had to go to game 3. So, and we ended up just splitting out. Just top two. We just split the prize, but yeah, Infernoids, and I did not expect it to win. All right, y'all. Monster lineup. Y'all know how Infernoids work. It's pretty generic. 2 Super Troopers. Of course, free meals. If they get destroyed, get the free draws. Draws are good. The meals are much better. So pretty much whatever I meal with this is going to be good just because I want to get cards off top of the deck. So only 2, though. You don't want to run 3. Are they even at 3? I don't even know if they're at 3. Anyway, you don't want to run 3 if you could anyway because, yeah, no. Double rating. And the one Lawless, your Light Sworn engine. I was doing double Lawless, one rating, but I like rating a lot more because he's a mill at will, and he's also a tuner, so I have a lot of plays I can make with him in regards to that. And she's good just for like those pesky back rows, but I don't need her as much because there's not a lot of back row this format. So 2-1 worked out really, really well. Actually, she won me a game. Raiden won me tons of games. Like it was freaking crazy. So there's that, and of course the one lone blaster. And these are pretty much the end of your can be normal summon monsters. Blaster's is good because all the Infernoids are fire. So you can pitch him from hand for his effect, or you can banish him from grave to special summon him. I mean, he's just too good not to want to use. Like, he just adds more on board. Plus, you run Reasoning and Monster Gate in the deck, so if you hit him off one of those, you just pretty much won the game. All right. Next for the Infernoids, we got Triple Antra. I'll tell you right now, I don't know why Homedic is $30 because Antra's so much better. Antra just says bounce 1 face-up card on the field. He's it's a level 2, 2,000 in the ass, and pretty much anything. All the level 4 and lower Infernoids say you have to banish 1 from the hand or from the graveyard to special summon to your side of the field. And they say level 2, so I can banish anything for him and bring him out in defense. Bounce back a Dante, bounce back a Construct, a Window, whatever's on the field, and it's not destroyed. It just bounce back. So pretty much whatever resources they use to get it out are now gone, and they don't get a plus off that because they wanted to hit the graveyard. So 3 of those. 3 Homedics. Homedic. Now Homedic, I'm not gonna lie, I love his name. That's really about it. I probably use Homedic maybe twice the whole tournament. I use Antra pretty much every round just because the Homedic pops a monster, which is good, but he can't attack. And unless I have like a rating or something on board or going for an Xyz play, Homedic really didn't do me much. So I actually might even cut him down to 2. But Homedic is just good because he's like the bear of the deck. He just pops a monster. He's overhyped. Don't get me wrong, he's extremely overhyped, but I like his name. So anytime you play it, you gotta say Homedic. Like you gotta tell your opponent Homedic. And they can't say no because it's on the field. All right, so just remember that. Next, you got Petrulia. This is your MST. It's pretty much another ladder for me. If you can spend something, just get out there. It's also 1800 beater. Pretty much, if you use any of their effects, though, they can't attack any of your level 4 lords. If you use their effects, they can't attack their turn. So a lot of times, this would just be I would use it as a beater, or I'd bring this out, pop a back row, then monster gate it or something like that. Because they can't attack anyway. But as I say, this is just a level 4 beater, and we all need those, and you got to run them in 3 just because it's a back row. So for those who do run back row, this is good. This is a good out for it, and they never expect it to come. They have to waste like a Veiler or a Breakthrough on it, and even then, it's still on board. Next, we got Triple Setsuma. Setsuma's pretty much the one that says if it attacks a monster and kills it at the end of the battle phase, I can banish 1 card on the field. All you level 5 and higher Infernoids say that you have to banish 2 Infernoids from the hand or from the graveyard to and or from the graveyard to special summon to the field. And like I said, this one right here is a 2600 attack, so attacks over a monster, kills it, and I can banish something. Once again, there's that Window, there's that Construct, that Dante card that you don't want to touch the graveyard and you never want to see again. This gets rid of. And of course, you want to run 3. You want to run a lot of your Inferno monsters because you want to hit them, you want them in the grave, and you need a lot of fodder to bring out each other. Triple Attendale. Attendale is your level 8. Pretty much, this is one that can attack twice if it kills a monster on the first attack. Really good. It's for 20. A lot of times I ran into my opponent having stuff like a tour guide on the field or something small. And so this just puts a lot of damage on board. And with him being level 8, I can still spend something, at least another monster just to go for game. So a lot of times that's what I did. I'd have him, another big monster, probably like a blaster or a raiden on the field, and I was going for game because that attack twice hurts a lot. And like I said, they don't run a lot of back row. So there's not much they can do Last but not least, you got your 2 Anonkus. This is the level 10. This one takes 3. You have to banish 3 Infernoids to bring this one out. And pretty much when this one's out, you can't spell some any other Infernos because all of them have the clause that if the combined monster effect monsters levels and ranks are equal to 8, equal to more than 8, you can't spell some any Infernoid. So he's automatically 10. So once he's out there, no more Infernoids are coming out unless they were out before him. But anyway, on the summon, he's a Judgment Dragon. Well, for monsters, he's a Judgment Dragon for monsters. And he's also a Dark Bribe, minus a draw card. Pretty much you can tribute a monster and negate activation of a spell or trap or the effect of a spell or trap on either player's turn. So they're really good, and they're 3,000, which is really good. This is pretty much like a game finisher for you. You only want to run 2. You don't really need 3. They're good enough as they are. And they all have their claws. Besides him, he's the only one that lets you tribute a monster to negate a spell or trap. And also, if he negates those spell and traps, he banishes them as well. So you get a Scout, you get a Shadar Fusion, you get something like a Fire Lake. They're never coming back. But the rest of them have the effect that you can tribute a monster, including themselves, but you can tribute a monster on your side of the field to banish a card from the graveyard. This format, that is very, very important. So this deck just came like right on time for this kind of format. That's it for the monsters. Next, we got the spells, pretty generic. Triple Reasoning. This is like your win more card. Like you want to hit Reasoning. Like you're gonna hit Reasoning. You're gonna mill at the least 7-8 cards, and of course those are gonna be Infernoid monsters. That's why you run so many of them. It's like playing B8. They have a lot of monsters, so do we. Or they're just bigger. So you hit Reasoning. Even if you miss Reasoning and they call the right number, it doesn't matter because your monster engraved, so you're fine. The one Monster Gate. Monster Gate I probably use twice the whole tournament. Pretty much you tribute off a monster. Like I said, so a lot of times I'll use like a Antra or a Petrulia and use their effect. And since they can't attack, I'll Monster Gate them. And then I'll mill through more and get into something else that can't be normal special. Most likely my Raiden, which opens up so many plays. The one charge, I probably do that only once the whole tournament. Regeki. Of course you mill a lot, but there are always those chances that you're going to draw something. So you always want to play your stuff like Regeki. You got to play your Burial and your Miracle Dig because this refills the graveyard. I might bump this up to 2 because a lot of times I milled it, and then a lot of times late game I'd have so much out that I want to reuse it. So I'm probably going to bump this up to 2. I did the double Hidden Armory and the one Snatch Steal. Once again, I'm probably going to bump this up to 3. Either I'm going to bump Miracle Dig up to 2 or Hidden Armory up to 3 because they were both just so good for the matchups. Like one of my games, real quick, I'm just going to tell y'all, I actually played against Noble Knights in one of my matches, and they had the whole lock, the whole Excalibur, Destiny, whatever lock with the rank 5 Artorigus where you can't be charged, you can't be destroyed. Well, he won the game for me. I topped into an MST, and on my Stand My Faith, he changed Vanities, which was pointless. But I MST'd his Excalibur, which made the Vanities go. And then I nunchued. I didn't destroy anything. And then I actually played Hidden Armory, got the Snatch Steal back, Snatch Steal this monster, Special Summon Blast from Grave, and went in for game. So this combo is just really good, and I saw this at almost every round, so really, really good. MVP of the deck, Void Seer. This card saved me so much. Pretty much when you activate it from the field, one of your Inferno's monster is unaffected by any of your opponent card effects for that turn. And it also has a clause, a trigger engraved where you can banish it, and one of your Inferno's monsters cannot be destroyed. So this worked out a lot. I killed so many constructs because of this card. Like, Construct was just trying to beat me through because all my monsters were special summoned. This card, and I had to run it in 3. 1, because I like drawing it, and 2, if I mill it, it's just more fuel to the fire. And last but not least, I actually mained 2 MSCs. Once again, you mill a lot of stuff, but if you draw it, it's going to work. And I actually drew at least 1 MSC a game, so that worked out quite a bit. All right, last but not least for the main deck, go through the traps. Double Breakthrough. Doesn't matter if you mill them, that's completely okay. I mean, they're going to work in the graveyard. They worked quite a bit for me. One Needlebug Nest. I don't have any more, so if you guys have any that you want to trade, holla at your boy, because trying to get more Needlebugs. If I had more, I'd run more, but I don't. And since I didn't have any more Needlebug Nest, I main deck 2 Fiend Comedians. Pretty much says if I can call heads or tails. If I call it right, I banish my opponent's whole graveyard. If I call it wrong, I mill cards from the top of my deck equal to the number in their graveyard. I missed the coin toss the whole night with this card. So I milled the whole night with this card, and I won because of that. So this card is way better. Now this card is really good because it's a free 5 and you know it. But this card gives you the opportunity to banish your opponent's graveyard, which limits their resources, or milling your deck, which gives you more resources. It's a win-win situation with this deck. So I'm probably going to keep this main deck even if I get more of those. But if y'all got any more of those, holler at me on that. All right, that's it for the main deck. All right, you guys. Quick through the extra deck, which I hardly went through it all because the deck is just too OP, just to be honest. 1 Phoenix, never made it. 1 Mech Engineer, never made it. 1 Alucard, never made it. One Silent Unarc, never made it. One Laval Chain, made it once. It was actually pretty funny. I was able to dump an Anunchu with it, and then when it died, I was able to use it for blaster. Double Extra Knight, never made them. Pretty much most of this is just filler, just because I want to have space. I want to have something to make sure that. Dweller, never made it. Musketeer made it once. I was playing against UA, and he had that damn whichever one. I think like Field Blocker or Gold Blocker or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, he's the one that says you can target one and it can't be destroyed once per turn. Like he put that on the field, and I couldn't get over it, so I just went to Castell and bounced it. The Puppet Grinder, the Giant Grinder, never made it. I actually ran 2 other Exceeds, which I don't have with me. I owned them, but I was too lazy to look for them, so I borrowed them last night. But I ran a Draco Sack, which I never made, and I ran the new Sky Centurion, the little new level rank 2 card that came out, whatever. Yeah. I ran that as well. Never made either one of those. Then for Synchros, Black Rose made this so much. I'd go Harmadic to pop a monster, or I'd go into something else, or like a Card Trooper off of Reasoning, normal summon rating, just blow the field up before I even go for anything else. Like I forced him. Like my opponent, one time my opponent even like Valored this, which I just went for game at that point just because he Valored it, like, whatever. So I made that. Goyo, never made it. And then Thought Rooter. There were so many other things I could have made, but I like Thought Rooter, so just in case they decide to target like Snatch Steal, stuff like that, Book of Moon, Econ, this card worked out so much, won me so many games as well. And last but not least is my side deck. Once again, y'all don't laugh. The third breakthrough skill. Gotta have breakthrough skill. Triple spell shattering arrow. Don't like cleave. Once again, I'm gonna mill a lot, but I'm gonna draw something. This actually won me my game against UAs. He had the field spell and he had the equip spell on field, and he was trying to go in for something, and I just like changed to this. His monster was like declaring an attack, so he couldn't stop it declaring his attack. He lost all his buffs, and my monster was able to take down his monster, so it worked. And it wasn't the slugger. Otherwise, he would probably beat my ass. Double skill prisoner. Pretty much, it just stops a card in your field from being targeted by a monster effect, which is really, really good. Like especially when you're playing against Shaddolls or BAs. So that and like I said, it works in graveyard just like breakthrough skill. So of course, I'm gonna run those. And of Anubis stops all graveyard bullshit. If it's graveyard bullshit, stops it. Hit this off reasoning like 3 different times on people when I sided into it. One Genzo. Hit Genzo off reasoning against my opponent. Had like 3 back row. Like he literally just like threw his card down and walked away. It was the most hilarious thing ever. Because you hit this off reasoning, like you're gonna go in like a G. So that. Double Mischief of the Gnome just to change levels. It pretty much changes all the level of monsters in each player's hand, and also it can be removed from the graveyard to do the exact same thing. I use it against heroes. A lot of times heroes, they'll go for the Summon Alias or Summon Shadow Mist, and then Special Bubman for the rank 4 play. So as soon as he like searched everything, I just like activated it. So he couldn't really do much with him at that point. Like unless he had mass change, he couldn't do much. So it really helped me out a lot. And also it was really good against BAs because they pretty much have to sit on board with small monsters. Once again, for BAs and like the small heroes, because a lot of heroes don't have a lot of attack besides Alias. So unless they're going into mass change, they're gonna die. Also the small Shadow monsters. So but I actually never needed it. And then last but not least was this card here, and I run 3 of them. Pretty much this card is Quackenberry's Doom. It says light and dark monster effects that activate during the main phase on each player's turn are negated. So pretty much anything they try to do, like from even Dante or anything that goes to the graveyard, it just pretty much negates all those effects during the main phase. So that is the deck profile.
Good. So some people think this deck is kind of like meh or overrated. What would you say to the losers or winners who think that?
I think everybody has their own opinion. Now, I don't think anybody's a loser for saying that. I don't think the deck is great. I think it has a good surprise factor, and it has a good counter factor to a lot of things. It's kind of like Elemental Dragon, it's stupid. So it does have a lot. It has some control to it, meaning not that control it, but it has some control to where Konami didn't make it too good to where everybody was just getting tired of it. It's a deck that people should be watching out for. Like I said last night, even when people sided against me, they didn't know what to side. Even speaking of which, I played against UAs and they main macro and defisher, and I still was able to just beat around that. So it's like it really doesn't matter like what they do. Like unless you have a good side that's prepared for this, like we're gonna beat you because you're not gonna know what to do. So it's not a great deck, but catch with your pants down, you kick in the nuts.
So that's the deck profile, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment because I think this deck can be built in a lot of different ways.
Yes, leave comments and like. I'm trying to get Paul to duel me, y'all. If y'all give us enough likes, I'm gonna make Paul duel against this deck, and I know y'all want to see Paul.
Let's make it like 1 million likes.
Fuck that. Look, don't worry about him. Give us some likes, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna set up a duel, okay? Also, I need needlebugs next, and also shout out to Alex, who he actually traded me my other nunchu for my deck, so appreciate that. And I'm also gonna shout out my homeboy Jiggy because those are his homodicks, so I'm holding Jiggy's dicks. Just saying. But if you guys still have homodicks, I still need homodicks and needlebugs nest. Infernoids.
And that's your video for today.
Happy.